Is biodiversity? Well, let me start off by saying that biodiversity is a radically complex concept. So let's try and break it down a bit. What does the word bio mean? Bio means life, and diversity means variety. So in other words, biodiversity describes the variety of life in an area, and it is made up of three different types or levels of organization. So if you look at the conceptual pyramid that we have here with the different levels of organization, you'll see at the base of the pyramid is genetic diversity, and then we have species diversity. And then the natural areas where these species occur, this is known as ecological or ecosystem diversity. So let's just have a look at some of the examples. Firstly, type 1, genetic diversity is a measure of the variety of different versions of the same genes within an individual species. Did you know that domestic dogs are all one species? So what do we have here? We have a poodle, an Alsatian, and. So all of these varieties are all one species, but the reason why they are different is because they have different genes, and this genetic variation results in different breeds or races in a sense. This is the same for us humans. You and me are both humans, right? Homo sapiens. We're one species, but the reason why we look different is because we have different genes. And these genes result in different races. It's the same as breeds. But if we compare the genetic diversity between dogs with that of the genetic diversity with humans, where we can see the Chihuahua is a lot smaller compared to the Beagle or the big and bulky Rottweiler, whereas with humans we are fairly similar, apart from our obvious different skin colors or facial features. You may ask yourself, but how is it more obvious that humans are one species compared to dogs being one species? I mean, you know what I mean. So what do you think the answer is to that? So the reason for this is because there has been more interbreeding and mixing of the human race through migrations and invasions and colonization, whereas with dogs there's very little interbreeding. So this is the reason why humans look more similar. Okay, so moving on to type 2, species diversity is the number of different kinds of organisms within individual communities or ecosystems. Here you can see that the rhino is a different species to the dragonfly, which is different to the king protea. But besides that, there's also species diversity by looking at just one animal. So for example, the rhino has 5 different species. I don't know if you can name the 2 that are indigenous to Africa. Yes, you guessed it. It's the white and the black rhino. And did you know that there's only about 20,000 white rhino and 5,000 black rhino left in the world today? And in a similar way, there is species diversity with proteas as well. There are about 112 species found in Africa, with 89 species recorded in South Africa. And the king protea, which is a very beautiful protea, is in South Africa's national flower. And then the third and final type of biodiversity is ecological diversity, which assesses the richness and variety of habitats, biological communities, and also includes the number of different niches, trophic levels, and ecological processes.